This is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1, and it reads, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Kalalayim, Alahayanawa, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach on and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives through the four corners of the earth. To the Aqua's listening and learning, Shalom. It's your brother Shimon from the Pillars of Benjamin Camp here on another lesson. Higher income Americans are getting nervous about the economy, right? It's a quick article that came out on Economy and Business, Axios, right? Higher income Americans are getting nervous about the economy. Who's this talking about? These Edomites, right? Upper crust Edomites, these ruling class elites, right? The scripture we opened with is talking about the ruling class elites, right? Even though they're still flush with cash from the booming market, wealthier people are increasingly worried about the economy, especially inflation, right? Flush with cash. We're talking about the Elon Musks, the Zuckerbergs, Billy Snakes, Bezos, right? The owner of Twitter, the board members of Twitter stock, and BlackRock and Vanguard, right? They're all flush with cash. From the booming market, right? Wealthier people are increasingly worried about the economy, especially inflation. Right? You weep and howl, worry, right? Because the Lord's visiting this place. What's happening? In March, consumer confidence dropped 7.2% for those earning more than 100,000, a much larger dip than for those earning less than 50,000, according to a measure of consumer sentiment released today as part of the Morning Consult Axios Inequality Index select. Why it matters. High earners still feel better about the economy on average, right? These high earners, but have more to lose from declining financial markets. So the mix of volatile asset prices, Federal Reserve rate hikes, and a surge in inflation is walloping their confidence, right? And this is all orchestrated. You know, we're hearing the Fed's going to plans to raise the rate 3 more times this fiscal year, 2022, the year of Yahawah turning up. It's unsustainable, right? Between the lines, financial assets have been particularly volatile since the start of the year. Wealthy people are more likely to be plugged into financial news and checking their 401k balances, said Jesse Wheeler, economic analyst at Morning Consult. Right, because it's the wealthy who have it, man. Right? Truth is, there are people out here, right? Yasharala, Israel being a people for a place, right? The hopeful elect, Lord willing, over that number. We're suffering out here, man. Under Esau's rulership. Right? But the difference between the 2/3 and the hopeful elect, Lord willing, we're of that number, the hopeful elect, is we understand why things are happening the way it's happening. And we're not locked into Esau's matrix. It's all about daily bread, get in, get out. We're not locked in. We're not locked into to Esau Edom's matrix, man. Truth is, where people are locked in, they're chasing the bag, right? They also tend to be older and may remember living through inflation decades ago. Young people don't know, and they'll soon find out, right? Young people don't know what's going on, man. Right, and about to find out, right? A time like no other. Of note, wage growth has been highest among lower paid workers. So many high earning workers have seen their compensation falling when adjusted for inflation. Reality check. Rich folks might be more stressed, but lower income Americans have much more to fear from rising prices. They tend to have less financial cushion to handle higher prices for food, gas, and other necessities. All right, and this is how these elites are going to squeeze, do away with the middle class, do away with the poor, and make everyone Be bottom feeders. James 5 verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Right? Weep and howl for the miseries that are coming, man. Right? Weep and howl for the recompense. Right? Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten. Your riches. Right? How you got your money, man. Right? Corrupt ways. Right? During the time of the Renaissance, it's a known fact that these DuPonts and these Gettys were crime families, man. Your gold and silver is cankered, right? Dirty money, blood money. And the rust of them shall be a witness against you. Right? How you got your money. Right? Jeremiah 49:10 says, I have made Esau bare. The world knows. The world knows you've committed atrocities, man. Right? The world knows when a country has resources, you invade and you take it. And shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days, right? You have treasure right now. You've heaped it for the last days. Doesn't it say in Job? Right? Because when this thing, when these wheels are going to fall out, a time like no other is going to come, right? And when Yawashi and the holy angels return, crack that sky, that's when your recompense begins. Job 27 verse 16. Though he heap up silver as the dust and prepare raiment as the clay. Who's doing this? Esau, Edom. Right? Esau thinks his kingdom is going to continue. Esau thinks he's going to hide out in bunkers and wait for the indignation to overpass. Right? Heaping up silver and as the dust and preparing raiment as the clay. He may prepare it, right? He's preparing it. He's putting away. Right? But the just shall put it on. Who are the just? The elect. In the kingdom. This is part of the recompense. And the innocent shall divide the spoil, right? The elect. Beginning with the elect shall divide the spoil. In the kingdom. Back to Job 5 verse 4. Behold the hire of the laborers, right? Laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, right? And who did this? America the Great, Babylon the Great. Who are the laborers that their wages were kept back by fraud? Beginning with you tribes, right? Esau, Edom came here from the old country, Europe, to the soils of America. Saw the northern kingdom here, right? Started to rape, steal, and pillage for resources, right? America the Great, Babylon the Great was founded on blood and labor, right? The blood of the tribes. And then Judah, Benjamin, Levi are brought over, right? After the northern tribes were decimated by genocide and slavery, right? And smallpox, right? Then Judah, Benjamin, and Levi came over via the cargo slave ships, and yokes of iron were then put on them. This is what Esau did. James 5 verse 4 once again. Behold the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, built America, which is of you kept back by fraud. Yeah, it was slavery. You did it for free. Built up America for free. Crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Right, the Lord, the Father, Yahawah Shem Yashai. He knows that this is what took place. It was His will. Right, Lord of Sabaoth. Lord of Sabaoth. Sabaoth meaning armies. Right. That's why there's going to be a recompense. Sirach chapter 34. Right. So yeah, what's the title here? Higher income Americans are getting nervous about the economy. Get nervous. Right. This place is through. Right. Sirach 34, verse 21, and it reads, the bread of the needy is their life. Who are the needy? You Israelites. You so-called indigenous, you so-called Latino, you so-called Negro. The bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood. Who's a man of blood? Who does the defrauding? Esau, Edom. These ruling class elites, these banking families. He that slayeth, Salak, he that taketh away his neighbor's living, slayeth him. Right? Let's talk about Esau, Edom, man. And he that defraudeth the laborer of his hire is a bloodshedder, right? He that defraudeth his neighbor of the hire is a bloodshedder. Esau, Edom. This is who he is, man. That's why the recompense must come. James 5, verse 5. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, you Edomites, and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts, your minds, as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, you Edomites. Condemned and killed the just. Right? Killed off the Israelites, man. So-called indigenous, so-called Latino, so-called Negro. And he doth not resist you, doesn't resist. How are the Israelites going to resist being slayed in your kingdom? We're the captives. Right? We're the captives. Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22, verse 7, and it reads, the rich ruleth over the poor. Right? Who are the rich? We've established who they are. These ruling class elites, these banking families. And the borrower, who's the borrower? You tribes. Is servant to the lender. Right? We're servants to the lender. Who's the lender? Esau, Edom. Right? Right? But the Lord Yawashi shall have a recompense coming. Right? So yeah, nervous, they're getting nervous. Get nervous. Amos 9. Right? But the Most High Yawashi is visiting this place and systematically taking down the framework of Babylon the Great, America the Great. Amos 9, verse 13. Behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that the plowman, who's the plowman? You Israelites, beginning with the elect, shall overtake the reaper. Who's a reaper? The ruling class elites. And the treader of grapes, you Israelites, beginning with the elect, him that soweth the seed. Soweth the seed, you Edomites. And the mountain shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Right? And this hasn't happened yet. This is the recompense. Right? This is the kingdom we're talking about right here. It's a kingdom prophecy. Isaiah 49, verse 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers. Right? These ruling class elites shall be thy nursing fathers. Nursing fathers of who? Beginning with the elect. And their queens, right? These ruling class elites, thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, right? Face towards the earth. They're going to see an elect man, beginning with the elect of Israel, and bow. And lick up the dust of thy feet. That's how low they're going to bow, man. Flush with the ground. And thou shalt know that I am Yahawah. For they shall not be ashamed that wait for me, right? They shall not be ashamed. Who shall not be ashamed? Beginning with the elect. Right? So yeah, getting nervous about the economy, get nervous. Get nervous. Isaiah 60, verse 14. The sons of them that have afflicted thee, Salak, the sons of The sons also of them that afflicted thee, right, you Edomites, shall come bending unto thee, right, beginning with their ruling class elites, the ones that are going to be plucked out of the bunkers, right, bind their nobles and kings with fetters of iron. This is who this is talking about, right? The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of Yahawah, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel, right? Kingdom prophecy, man. So yeah, get nervous, right? Because a time like no other is coming. And the Most High Yawashi is steady visiting this place more and more. It's increasing. It's waxing worse and worse, right? The wheels are about to fall out, right? Devalued dollar is about to go down be flushed into the sewer systems, right? Grid about to go out. Food shortage, mass starvation, more sword, more pestilence, cannibalism. This is what's coming, right? And this dollar is about to crash. Well, it's crashed already. It's being falsely held up, but it's about to be known that it, it's worth nothing, right? Stay prayed up, pray without ceasing. I pray you're edified. Abarataza, Kwame Shirala, Wa Abad, Papa, Shalom.